Hey everybody, this is TJR.
This is Superfan.
And we're here with part 6 of Live Aid from the Live Aid YouTube channel. And this, of course, episode has a very famous performance on it that I know everybody wants to hear about. I should also add that we're at a point now here where we've gotten feedback on the previous videos.
Yes.
Thank you for all your comments, and thank you for all the positive comments. We really appreciate it here. So, we begin on the UK stage with Queen.
Yes.
And it's the entire performance, thank goodness. Just like you said with U2, I would have been very pissed off if that Queen performance had been cut in any way, shape, or form, which it was not. What can we really say about this performance that hasn't already been said? I mean, David Bowie, I believe it was Sting actually, if I'm not mistaken. Sting said they were his favorite band of the entire day. They were a lot of people's favorite band of the entire day. It was a great performance. And Freddie Mercury kind of solidified himself, in my opinion, in this performance as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, all-time rock singers, in my opinion. Whenever people ask me, about favorite rock vocalists, I always have to put Freddie Mercury right on top. That's just me, personally. I always have to do that.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
He's not bad.
Boo hiss, says the crowd. As you go like this. Okay, no, you love Freddie. You know that.
I do.
You do love Freddie, and you think he's awesome.
Do.
You're just being snarky because you have a preference to your favorite.
I do.
Which you made very clear in the last episode. Because you said they had the best performance of the whole day. And I understand. They're your favorite. U2 is your favorite, so I understand.
They were pretty phenomenal.
They were phenomenal. They definitely were. But if you were to say to me, well, do you think Queen was better? I would say they were both phenomenal. I would say it's two different types of performances.
Yeah.
Two totally different approaches. Both were amazing. And
but Queen had many years under their belt, and U2
was up and coming, and this performance definitely played a big part. That performance by U2 I'm referring to played a big part in their rise to fame.
Yeah.
Definitely. But Queen, just the sheer, both of them had great energy, but they just, like I said, were different types of energy. But let's not turn this into a them versus them type of thing. They, of course, play, the first part of Bohemian Rhapsody, Radio Gaga, which I thought sounded so great in this live version. Better than the studio version, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Yeah, much better. Hammer to Fall, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, We Will Rock You, and We Are the Champions. Their album, The Works, was out at that point in time. So that's why we've got the songs from that album. We have good representation of that album there. Something I will bring up is that before we watched this, in between shooting these, I saw an interview with Bob Geldof in the present day, talking about, Live Aid, and he talks about Queen's performance. He in no way says, oh, Queen wasn't good, but he talks about the difference between the Queen movie, the Live Aid segments, and the reality of what happened. Now, the Queen movie does a great job of trying to recapture what we've all seen. Because I'm willing to bet that performance by Queen is one of the most watched live performances on YouTube. But the reality, he said that in the Queen movie, Queen performs, they're great, and the phones catch fire and all the donations start coming in.
But that wasn't the case on the day.
He says that's not what made the phones catch fire. He said what made the phones catch fire is that there was a film they shot in South Africa showing the poverty the destitute poverty that these people were living in, that they were raising funds for. And Bob Geldof told David Bowie that the BBC didn't want them airing this because they thought it would be too upsetting. I think he said it was the BBC. I'm not sure. I can't see who else it would be.
The television stations didn't
Okay.
want it airing.
Didn't want it airing. And David Bowie said, "You've got to air this,
Or I won't go on.
or I won't go on." Basically, he said, "You can cut one of my songs out, so that this can be aired. This has to be aired." And so we haven't gotten to that part yet, but David Bowie, I don't remember if it was before or after his set, but David Bowie made that demand. It was aired, and he said that's when the phones
Went crazy.
went crazy with people donating money. Nothing against Queen, just reality versus cinema. And I love biopics. I enjoy them, but I always recognize that they're cinema. They're not reality, but I can still enjoy them as cinema. That's why for reality, I would prefer a documentary. Anyways, though, so Queen, yeah, amazing. Then we switch over to the U.S. stage, and we have Simple Minds. Of course, they do Don't You Forget About Me, which is famous now from the Breakfast Club movie. But you were saying...
I don't think the Breakfast Club was out at the time.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe it came out right around that time, but it wasn't
the huge
hit that it became.
The huge iconic song that it is now, which I'm sure that movie played no small part in. But we get their whole set: Ghost Dancing, Don't You Forget About Me, and Promised You a Miracle.
And there was a sound problem in the version that they played.
Yes.
The sound cut out, but they played an interview with Jim Kerr, who was the singer.
In 2020. Recorded in 2020.
Just discussing the experience.
Yeah. So apparently the audio was lost for whatever reason, a technical problem. The audio was lost. And so there's a brief, you hear someone say, okay, at this point the audio was lost. And then Jim Kerr talks about his experience being part of it.
Yeah.
And
the fact that it was a blur.
That it was a blur to him, that he was honored to be there, he said, among some legendary names in rock and roll music. And that just it was one of the best experiences of his life, the way he tells it. I'm sure it was. I can't even begin to imagine. But yeah. So that was cool.
Very cool.
That they did that, and you saw the footage, but you just couldn't hear the audio until the very end. I also just want to mention that Simple Minds, a band that I probably mostly just know for one song.
Oh, they're a great band.
Yeah,
I saw them back in the day.
But great energy. Again, another one of these bands that, didn't know much about. I did enjoy the hit single, Don't Forget About Me, but great energy on stage.
Yeah.
Great energy from them. So now this brings us to David Bowie.
Also had great energy.
Who also, yes. Oh, and actually, sorry, we need to back up. We forgot.
Well, it's still David Bowie.
Yes, but just prior to David Bowie's performance, we have a music video, which is Mick Jagger and David Bowie performing Dancing in the Streets. It was odd to me at the time that suddenly we break for a music video.
Well, and it was a music video that was played throughout the day, actually. And the original plan was that one was going to be on one stage and the other was going to be on the other stage.
Simulcast together?
Simulcast. But then they realized that there would be delay for the satellite. And
that wouldn't work.
It just, they didn't want to lip sync or mime it. So they,
I guess even if they lip synced and mimed it, would still be it could still be off kilter no matter how hard you try to time it.
Exactly.
Like you start one person a minute earlier, and it would probably still be hard to time that, and it could probably be pretty disastrous. So yeah, a music video makes sense.
Exactly. And it worked out that it was still the recording of the song. Actually, one was in New York, one was in London, so
Oh, okay.
close enough.
Okay, symbolically, that's what they did, I guess. Okay. Fun music video. I'll be honest, at that age, when that was first shown, I remember seeing it there. And at the age I was, and I brought this up before, the only
You were too
previous
cool
history.
for the room.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was young and opinionated and arrogant. And the only previous knowledge of that song that I had was that Van Halen had covered it on their Diver Down album. I knew it was a cover then too, but at that age, with the upbringing I had,
It wasn't your thing.
I had no clue. I'd never heard the Martha and the Vandellas version. I knew that it was a cover song. I knew that Van Halen had covered it. I'd heard the name Martha and the Vandellas, but I'd never heard the song. And I'll be honest, fun video, not a bad cover, pretty good cover. Better than the Van Halen cover, in my opinion. And I'm a huge Van Halen fan, mind you. But neither of them touches the Martha and the Vandellas version. This is me in the present day, because I didn't start getting interested in the past until maybe the 90s. That's when I really started digging into the past of rock, blues, soul, all of that, And but yeah, nothing touches the original version at this point. And certainly these two don't. Though I'll admit the Bowie Jagger one is good, and it's a fun video.
It is a fun video.
Yes.
It was a nice break in the day. Because like I said, they played it throughout the day. Because there were a lot of logistical issues that we didn't see because they had things like this.
Yeah. So it provided a buffer trying to get one act off a stage, and when they needed a little bit of time to do that, it probably provided some filler. I don't want to call it filler, but it provided basically time to get.
It worked out well that they did it that way rather than
try to simulcast it in the way they originally thought. But anyways, though, so there's that. And then, of course, we go from there to David Bowie on the London stage. And TVC 15, Rebel Rebel, Modern Love, and Heroes.
Yeah.
And basically, Bowie had to follow Queen. I don't know if I've ever heard any interviews with him about the fact that he had to follow Queen, if he had any at all trepidation about that. But but he did great.
I have to say, who wouldn't?
Huh?
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, I'm
because
sure.
It was a great performance.
Yeah, who wouldn't? But he did great. And then, of course, as we mentioned earlier, it was once he was done performing Heroes, when we see the video that we were just talking about a moment ago that Bob Geldof talked about. And I remember this moment too. I remember the music video playing of Dance in the Streets, but I also remember this moment too. And David Bowie at the end of his performance says, "We'd like to show you a film by the CBC, and please, send your money." And this is where we see the actual real life conditions that these people that this whole concert is about were living in. And this is when Bob Geldof said that, I'm sure people were making donations throughout the whole day, but this is when the phones went off the hook, this video. And it's very sobering. It was sobering then to watch it. And you watch this, and as we're watching this, we hear the entire length of the song Drive by the Cars. It fits perfectly. And it was sobering to watch then, and it's still sobering to watch now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll never not be horrifying.
No. Yeah. And that is where this chapter ends, part 6. So,
on a nice upbeat note.
Huh?
A nice upbeat note.
Yeah, but I'm really,
that's what it was all about.
Yeah, that's what it was about. And I'm really, now that,
I'm glad they put it in there rather than cutting it out.
Yeah. According to Bob Geldof, he said Bowie was in tears after he watched it. And that's when he said, you have to play this. Yeah. And by the way, I should mention this right now because, like I said, that memory about Bowie being crying, that just popped in my head now. And I want to state here for the record here that these reactions are based on our recollections of having watched it back when it aired 40 years ago.
Yeah.
These are our recollections. Recollections are not always 100% accurate.
No.
We are not heavily researching this before we do this. We're watching, we're reacting. Probably the most research we have is just a listing of who performed so
And
that we
what
can
they
know
performed.
and what they performed so we can know what songs didn't got cut from these YouTube videos and what performances got cut.
Yeah.
So far, at this point, nobody's been cut. And I hope that continues for the rest of these.
Yeah, other than, at least on this video.
At least on this one, yeah, because in some of the last couple ones they were. Hopefully no one else gets cut. I'm still wondering if Led Zeppelin's going to be cut because I know they were very unhappy
with the performance.
And that's why it was never on the Live Aid DVD release. It was never on there because they were so unhappy with it. And hopefully it's there and we can talk about it. There are definitely things I would say about it. But we'll wait and see what happens here. And we're not looking ahead also. I know some of you have commented already that you've already looked ahead and now you're just waiting to hear what we have to say. And thank you. We appreciate that very much. And thank you for not spoiling anything too, as to what's going to be or not be on these upcoming chapters here. But this is chapter 6. And so we've got 4 more to go. And if you're enjoying this, please, as always, remember to click like. It helps a great deal. And I want to take this moment to thank the patron supporters who do receive exclusive videos not available on this channel. And also, just thank you for watching. And again, thank you for all the comments. We're at the point now where we're filming these, and I've been able to actually see your responses to the first couple of videos. You know, so that's been great to have seen that and know that you're enjoying this and that it's, you want to see more. So
we appreciate you.
We are moving forward. We're moving forward. And anyways, everybody, in a moment you're going to see some links for other videos that I have created. Some of them might be live performances that I've posted. Some of them might be more researched videos, unlike this, which is more spontaneous. And give them a watch. I think you might enjoy them. Thank you so much, everybody. And we'll see you in the next chapter. Take care. Bye-bye.